What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Monday, November 17th, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it will take you to the homepage of the iHeartRadio page of the Entertainment Report, where you can listen to any previous episodes. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend, and I'm back after a week off, and here are some of the stories that are affecting the entertainment world. Joan Tarshish is the former actress who is the latest woman to accuse legendary comedian and television legend Bill Cosby of allegedly raping them, detailed the graphic nature of the assault for the first time on camera on CNN Tonight with Don Lemon. Tarshish did not hold back as she revealed how Cosby had first raped her after the taping of an episode of The Bill Cosby Show. She claims that Cosby drugged her at his bungalow and forced her to have oral sex. Tarshish has previously written that the rapes took place in 1969 when she was 19 years old in an essay on Hollywood Elsewhere. Tarshish goes on to explain that she didn't tell anyone as she idolized Cosby at the time, and also because her mother wouldn't believe her. When Lemon asked her why she didn't tell the police, Tarshish explained that, first of all, no one else had come out. I didn't know his history. I assume I was not the only girl that he was doing this with, but who's going to believe me? Bill Cosby, the all-American dad, the all-American husband, Mr. Jello, the guy everybody loves. Who would believe me? They would probably think I was out to get something. Tarshish said she felt a lot of guilt, a lot of shame after being raped, and was angry at herself and blamed herself. Lemon also asked Tarshish about NBC's upcoming show with Cosby and her hopes that it will be canceled. She ended the interview by calling Cosby a serial rapist, adding, "When you rape at least 16 women, that's serial. That's a serial rapist, in my opinion." Tarish's assertions followed on from renewed focus on allegations against Cosby after comedian Hannibal Buress called him a rapist on stage during the set. The resultant media uproar quickly led to increased scrutiny of allegations stretched back decades. One of the alleged victims, Barbara Bauman, wrote about her experience and her anger at no one believing her in an op-ed for the Washington Post. Cosby himself is yet to publicly respond to the allegations, and his lawyers published a statement on his website addressing the issue. Mr. Cosby does not intend to dignify these allegations with any comment, said John P. Schmidt, a lawyer for Cosby. Over the last several weeks, decades old, discredited allegations against Mr. Cosby have resurfaced. Schmidt also added the fact that they are being repeated does not make them true. There will be no further statement from Mr. Cosby or any of his representatives. Jerry Horowitz's short tenure at NBC News has come to an end. Barely 3 months into his tenure as Senior Vice President and General Manager of Today, The Hollywood Reporter has learned that the veteran TV executive is out. NBC News did not respond for multiple requests for comment. Originally set to join the network in December, Horowitz started taking meetings at Today in September, overseeing the network's flagship morning show in its pursuit to reclaim #1 status from ABC's Good Morning America. According to one source, Horowitz clashed with NBC News President Deborah Turnitz. The news followed reports that Turnitz had butted heads with Brian Williams and David Gregory since assuming lead of NBC News in 2013. The latter, of course, lost a job as host of Meet the Press in August after drawn-odd speculation that he was on his way out. Oddly, this also comes just 3 days after the New York Post ran a story suggesting that Horowitz, along with Bloomberg Businessweek editor Josh Triangulale, were being floated as possible Turnitz replacements. NBC News has been in transition mode since Turnitz's addition, and Today and Meet the Press aren't the only properties that have needed a course correction. Evening News flagship Nightly News with Brian Williams has also lost ground to ABC World News, now anchored by David Muir. Horowitz joined NBC News from ESPN after launching Keith Olbermann's ESPN2 program and Colin Cowherd's Colin's new football show. At the time of his May taping for the Today gig, Turnitz described Horowitz as a, quote, visionary leader, a creative thinker, and a seasoned expert in developing and driving brands that truly connect. Mike and Molly is replacing the Millers on Monday. The Melissa McCarthy comedy will return to CBS on Monday, December the 8th. CBS is filling its Monday vacancy from the Millers with a familiar face. The network has slotted the fifth season of Melissa McCarthy's comedy to take over the Mondays at 11:30 p.m. time slot previously occupied by the Will Arnett series. Starting Monday, December 8th, Mike and Molly will air in the Millers' former time slot. The week prior, on December 1st, CBS will run a 4-episode marathon which repeats of Mike and Molly from 8 to 10 p.m., followed by a rebroadcast of the freshman procedural Scorpion. Last season, Mike and Molly from Warner Brothers Television returned in November and aired at 9 p.m., filling the gap that came after CBS X's rookie comedy We Are Men. CBS canceled The Millers late Friday, midway through production on its second season. The sophomore comedy from showrunner Greg Garcia and produced in-house was dragging down Scorpion. Fox is going back to So You Think You Could Dance. The network has renewed the summer staple for a 12th season with a new twist. The series, which returns in 2015, will feature dancers in two teams: stage, with those trained in contemporary, ballet, jazz or tap, and street, comprised of hopeful skills in hip-hop, animation, or breaking. The top 20 will consist of 10 dancers from each of the categories. When the series advances to its live format, the top 20 will be challenged in a variety of styles and work with world-renowned choreographers. Co-creator and executive producer Nigel Lythgoe said, "The competition is going to be much more exciting for viewers and even more demanding for the dancers. Dancers from different genres have always been competitive with each other, and we found a great way to harness that to bring out the absolute best performance in the best dancers across the country." The series hails from 19 Entertainment, a division of Core Media Group and Dick Clark Productions. Simon Andre, executive vice president of alternative entertainment at Fox, said, So You Think You Could Dance is a rare jewel. It combines high art with mass entertainment in a seamless, sophisticated, and hugely satisfying way. It's produced and consumed with tremendous passion, and it's developed one of the most deservedly loyal followings in all of unscripted television. We are immensely proud to be returning to the schedule with a thrilling new twist that will bring it up to date and introduce a whole new set of rooting opportunities. Audition cities and dates have not yet been announced. After 6 seasons, TV Land's signature original comedy series Hot in Cleveland is calling it quits. TV Land President Larry W. Jones said, after 5 incredible seasons of Hot in Cleveland, the 6th season currently in production will be its last. He also added, "It's been an honor to work with Valerie Bertinelli, Jane Leaves, Wendy Malick, and the incomparable Betty White, as well as our executive producers, Susan Martin, Todd Mindler, Sean Hayes, and the rest of our exceptional writers, production team, and crew. The passion and the talent they brought to the set each and every week over the past 5 years has put TV Land on the map as a network dedicated to quality original programming. We will continue to celebrate the show and are looking forward to a fantastic series finale." The series, which celebrated its 100th episode in September, launched the Viacom-owned cable network into original scripted territory. The show is licensed in 210 countries and syndicated in 96% of the country. The decision to end the series comes less than 3 months after series creator Susan Martin told that she would love to do at least 8 seasons. Since its debut, Cleveland has delivered an average audience of 2.4 million total viewers, and then 1.12 among adults 25 to 54 and 1.46 among women 25 to 54. The role earned White an Emmy nomination and back-to-back SAG Awards. Meanwhile, TV Land's roster of original scripted comedies include new half hours of Pastor, Teachers, Darren Star's Younger, and The Gaffin Show, as well as veteran Hot in Cleveland spin-off The Soul Man and veteran The X's. The network recently canceled Kirstie and Jennifer Falls after 1 season each. HBO is moving forward with its Westworld adaptation, drama based on Michael Crichton's 1973 film and written by Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. Stars Anthony Hopkins in his first series regular role as an inventor who runs an adult amusement park populated by lifelike robots. HBO made the announcement Monday via Twitter, with the series coming in 2015. The drama hails from J.J. Abrams and Brian Burke's Warner Brothers television-based Bad Robot Productions, with the duo exec producing alongside Jerry Weintraub. Nolan, who directed the pilot, and Joy. Kathleen Ling will co-executive produce, and Athena Wickman is a producer of the drama. Susie Ekins is set to be a co-producer. Westworld hails from Bad Robot, Jerry Weintraub Productions, and Kilter Films. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the show's androids, played by cast members including James Marsden, Evan Rachel Wood, and Sandy Newton, can be killed off and return with completely different personas, allowing actors to play many characters. At Creative Device, one top talent agent said helped HBO attract the premiere cast, which also includes Ed Harris, Miranda Otto, and Jeffrey Wright. And unlike the actors on such anthology series as FX's American Horror Story and HBO's own True Detective, which reboots themselves every season, the cast of Westworld is signing multi-year deals. HBO programming president Michael Lombardo told The Hollywood Reporter in August of the sci-fi western from executive producers J.J. Abrams, Jerry Weintraub, and Brian Burke. This is built as a series in terms of storytelling. I think the rules are definitely being broken. The promise of a show in terms of where it's going is exciting to the actors, and they want to be part of it. Westworld becomes HBO's second drama for Warner Bros. Television, joining Damien Lindelof's adaptation of The Leftovers, which has already been renewed. The Cabler recent passed over Ryan Murphy's sexual drama pilot Open for 20th Century Fox Television. Westworld is HBO's first project with Bad Robot, which also produces CBS Persons of Interest and Hulu's upcoming event series November 22, 1963. The banner recently saw the demise of Revolution, Almost Human, and Believe. Abrams' credit includes Fringe, Alcatraz, and Lost. He is currently prepping Star Wars Episode Number 7, as well as the next installments of the Mission Impossible and Star Trek franchises. Abrams' Bad Robot is also prepping a miniseries based on Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone final and unproduced screenplay that stops along the way, and that work is not yet attached. For HBO, Westworld comes as the network recently said farewell to True Blood and is wrapping the final seasons of Emmy Darling's Boardwalk Empire and Aaron Sorkin's Newsroom. Westworld joins an HBO drama roster that also includes Game of Thrones, The Leftovers, True Detective, and Utopia. Angelina Jolie was joined by her husband Brad Pitt at the world premiere of her sophomore feature as a director. The Louis Zamperini's biopic Unbroken is a traffic-stopping event at Sydney's historic State Theatre Monday night. Jolie, who stunned in a strapless floor-length black lace Gucci gown, and Pitt worked the Sydney street for half an hour before the screening, taking innumerable selfies with fans who turned out to see the pair. Unbroken stars Jack O'Donnell and Japanese actor and musician Miyavi joined producer Matt Baer, Jolie, and Pitt at the black tie event, as did Sydney natives and fellow Hollywood filmmakers George Miller, John Seale, John McAlpine, and Jan Chapman. Jolie said she was thrilled to bring the premiere of the film, which is garnering Oscar buzz, back to Australia after shooting the film in Sydney and other locations around the country a year ago. But she admits the scope and emotional intensity of the film was, quote, an extraordinary challenge for her as a director. Unbroken tells the story of Zamperini, who's played by O'Connell, an Olympic runner and World War II veteran who was interred in a brutal Japanese prisoner of war camp after surviving 47 days stranded in the Pacific Ocean on a raft. Jolie told The Hollywood Reporter, "I knew I was drawn to the story, but I didn't realize how much I needed it and how much it would change my life. Louis made me think differently about life and how to survive things, but as a director, it was really difficult and an extraordinary challenge." She also added, "You're dealing with real history, which is difficult, but also pleasure because you get an education. But technically, this film is very demanding. It has hundreds of visual effects. It has a shark attack, plane crashes, even the Olympic races." She also added, "I remember waking up one morning thinking, how do I shoot a race? There's a specific way a director does that, and I'm not sure I'm ready. So I had to sit up for days and try and learn. You have so much to learn, from the speed of the Flash and the B-24 bombers flying, and I had to be the one to have the answers on it, so it was a great challenge." After many years of developing Unbroken, Jolie and Baer were keen to communicate the message behind Zamperini's experiences. She also added, "We wanted to shed light on a story like Louis to remind us all that there is a strength in each of us, that we can do anything." U2's return to The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon for a week-long residency has been postponed following Bono's cycling accident in New York, according to the band's website. Reading a message on the site signed by U2 members The Edge, Adam Clayton, and Larry Mullen Jr., it looks like we will have to do our Tonight Show residency another time. We're one man down. Bono has injured his arm in a cycling spill in Central Park and required some surgery to repair it. We're sure he'll make a full recovery soon, so we'll be back. Much thanks to Jimmy Fallon and everyone at the show for their understanding. U2 was scheduled to perform on The Tonight Show from Monday, November 17th through Friday, November 21st. The legendary band helped Fallon launch the late-night show back in February as his first musical guest. There's no official word yet on when U2 might reschedule or who will take their place during the week. Charles Champlin, the esteemed film critic and artist columnist for the Los Angeles Times from 1965 to 1981, died Sunday at his home in Los Angeles after a 10-year struggle with Alzheimer's disease. His son Charles Jr. said he was 88. Champlin, who also hosted TV shows for Los Angeles public station KCET, PBS, and Bravo, also suffered from macular degeneration, diagnosed in the late 1990s, which he described as in his book 2001 book My Friend, You Are Legally Blind. After joining the Times as an entertainment editorial writer in 1965, he elected 2 years later to take on the role of the newspaper's principal film critic, just as the new film ratings code freed the industry from its self-censoring production code. In compendium of his film reviews from the 1970s, the revolutionary decade, Champlin wrote, "Overnight, almost literally, the movie screen was untheatered as it had never been before in this country. Critics have a role to play, so I felt as mediators between this new generation of uncensored movies and the film goers. Each year, Champlin saw up to 250 films and reviewed about 125. I strongly felt that criticism must aspire to be art," he said. "The aspiration to be art was in fact the respect that the critic pays to the art of others." He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2007. In 1972, Champlin hosted PBS Film Odyssey, which each week showed classic foreign films like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, paired with relevant interviews from such filmmakers as Alfred Hitchcock. He later hosted celebrity interviews on Bravo. He and fellow Times columnist Art Tenenbaum co-hosted the KCET show City Watchers, which covered cultural issues across Los Angeles in the early 1970s. A cornet player influenced by Bix Beiderbecke and Duke Ellington, Champlin also wrote about jazz for the Times and in album liner notes. He was named the Grand Emperor of Jazz of the Sacramento Jazz Festival in 2001. In addition to Charles Jr., he's survived by his wife of 66 years, Peggy, and their other children, Katie, John, Judy, Susan, and Nancy, 13 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren, which another is due in December. He was 88 years old. Actor Sherman Hemsley died in July 2012 of lung cancer at the age of 74, but he was not buried for 4 months thanks to a dispute between the business manager he lived with and a long-lost half-brother who each claimed the right to dispose of his remains. Hemsley, best known for his role as George Jefferson on the TV classic show The Jeffersons, was finally buried in El Paso, Texas in November 2012, but the dispute continued for 2 years thereafter until late last week. A Texas appeals court had decided that it was best to leave Hemsley in the spot where he now rests in peace. A month before he died, Hemsley executed a will and named beloved partner Flora Etchington Burnell, his business manager and best friend, as the sole beneficiary of his estate. At the morgue, however, a medical examiner used Hemsley's cell phone to locate his next of kin and called Richard Thornton, who told the caller that he was Hemsley's brother. The two apparently shared a father, a Methodist minister, who had an affair. Based on the information, the medical examiner released Hemsley's body to Thornton, who wanted to have the late actor's body taken to a funeral home in El Paso and to be buried in Pennsylvania. Burnell then filed an application to probate the will, which Thornton contested on the grounds that Hemsley was not of sound mind when he made the will. A probate judge then ruled that Hemsley had the capacity to execute the will and that he was not subject to any undue influence at the time that the will was executed. Although a DNA test confirmed Thornton's relationship to Hemsley, the judge ruled that it was admissible only for the limited purpose of establishing a right to inherit. And so Hemsley was buried, but it did not end the dispute because Thornton filed an appeal. After controversial casting issues and aggressive promotional campaign, Lifetime's Aaliyah biopic finally hit the airs on Saturday night, and it did pretty well. Aaliyah, the Princess of R&B, raked in an average 3.2 million viewers during its premiere telecast. That puts it at the number 2 cable telepack of 2014, behind fellow Lifetime effort Flowers in the Attic. The film was also a hit online. Nielsen's Media's mutable Twitter ratings put the pick at the top of its weekly chart, 997,000 tweets, and a unique audience of 3.4 million. Lifetime also fared well in the demographic skewing with young, with 1.7 million adults 18 to 49 and 1.3 million 18 to 49. A companion documentary effort beyond the headlines, Aaliyah maintained much of the film's momentum with an average 2.7 million viewers. And finally, Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels' Dumb and Dumber 2 lapped its way to an estimated $38.1 million debut at the North American box office, enough to edge out strong holdover Big Hero 6. Opening 20 years of the original, the surprisingly strong performance of the PG-13 comedy is a needed win for Carrey, as well as another feather in the cap for Daniels, who star on HBO's The Newsroom. Red Granite Pictures fully financed the sequel after Warner Brothers put the sequel into turnaround, with Universal handling distribution and marketing duties. Dumb and Dumber 2 reunites original directors Bobby and Peter Farrelly with Carrey and Daniels, aka Lloyd and Harry. The story follows dim-witted friends as they search for Lloyd's daughter in hopes that she can give him a kidney. Rob Riggle, Lauren Holden, Rachel Melvin, and Kathleen Turner also stars in the movie, which earned a B- cinema score. Big Hero 6 fell 36% to $36 million from 3,773 locations for a domestic total of $111.7 million and an early worldwide haul of $148.4 million. Many rival studios have Dumb and Dumber 2 ending up much closer to Big Hero 6. The final verdict won't be known until official weekend numbers are released Monday morning. Placing number 2 domestically for the weekend, Big Hero 6 has helped propel Disney past the $4 billion mark in global ticket sales for only the second time in history. From Paramount and Warner Brothers, Interstellar came in third, declining a slim 39% to $29.2 million from 3,561 theaters for a domestic total of $97.8 million. All eyes were on the movie to see how much it would fall. Globally, the space epic has zoomed past the $300 million mark to finish Sunday with $321.9 million in ticket sales. Beyond the Lights tells the story of a Rihanna-like singer played by Gugu Mbatha Raw on the rise who falls for a cop played by Nate Parker after he saves her from a suicide attempt. The $7 million film is from Relatively Undisputed Cinema and Homegrown Productions in association with BET Films. Came in number 4. Number 5, written and directed by The Secret Life of Bees, helmed Gina Price Bithwar. The PG-13 title is the first movie to come out of Relativity's new multicultural division. It also stars Minnie Driver, Richard Colson Baker, and Danny Glover. The specialty box office saw a flurry of new openings as award season heats up. Sony Pictures Classics wrestling drama Foxcatcher from director Bennett Miller and starring Steve Carell and Channing Tatum fared the best by far, grossing $288,113 from 6 theaters for a theater average of $48,019, one of the best showings of the year. Tommy Lee Jones' The Homesman, starring Jones opposite Hilary Swank, opened to $48,033 from 4 theaters in Los Angeles and New York for a local average of $12,033. A solid showing for a Western-themed film. Roadside Attractions and Sabian Films are partners on the film. Open Road's Rosewater, marking Jon Stewart's directorial debut, struggled in its debut, grossing $1.2 million from 371 runs. Among holdovers, Fox's Searchlight's Birdman cracked the top 10 as it made another major expansion, grossing $2.5 million from only 857 theaters for a count of $11.6 million. And as your entertainment report for Monday, November 17th, 2014, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. Or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report and it will take you to the page where you can listen to the show anytime you want. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.